everybody. Welcome back. Another episode. Dave, we are finally at episode 20, and we are just keeping up with it, and we're rolling. I know everybody's excited for Boxerfest coming up, and Dave and I are going to be there. Very excited. We have a super cool guest today. Somebody that has been seen in Tread Magazine, somebody that is known by many people across the whole globe for his build. It's just really great to be able to sit down and talk to Jonny Walker from Out2Roam. If you guys have ever heard of him with his 05 Legacy GT build.
Yeah, so I'm Jonny Walker. I drive a 2005 Subaru Legacy GT Wagon. I've been building for about 13, 14 years now. It started life completely stock, left-hand drive. Originally, it was a street build. Originally, I slammed it. It's an inch off the ground, or 2 inches, something like that. And then got kind of bored of that. And it really spiraled out of control. Like, I didn't have a build plan. I just kind of added parts. I knew like what parts I needed and what parts I wanted. And then a lot of trial and error, a lot of going out, coming back, figuring out what worked and what didn't. And it's what you see today.
I feel like it's one of those snowball effects. Anytime that you get a cool car and you start to get into parts that are one-ofs and you start to keep building and doing such a cool build like you have, I can't help but be drawn to cars like this. I feel like every time I see them at Boxerfest, any of the other, super meets, car drives, I feel like every time I see something that has like all of these crazy pieces, I get so excited because like they're so rare. It's hard to find somebody that's put 14 years into a build. A lot of people hit a point where they feel like they've maxed it out and they're just like, you know what, I'm going to switch platforms or whatever.
I'm getting to that point. I am so close to that point.
Well, we'll talk about that, Jonny. We'll try to keep you motivated.
Oh, perfect.
Dave has a Subaru Baja with over 200,000 miles on it. And we have filled it with canola oil. So every time we have a guest on, we have a contest going. We're going to run it to 3,000 miles and do the oil change. Now, the question is, how many miles do you think it'll go?
I'm assuming every 3,000 miles you're going to do an oil change.
We're going to change it at 3,000. We're going to go back to regular oil. We'll see. If it makes it 3,000, maybe we try, I don't know, coconut oil. Pump it.
I think it's going to go, I'm going to say the full 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with you. And to date, we have not seen any metal. There's no knocking, no smoking, nothing. And this thing has over 250,000 miles on it. And it's just seems to be fine.
The best part is that if this works, these oil changes are like $12.
Yeah, I know.
So that's, to me, on the savings end of it, this is like purely for everyone's knowledge.
Maybe not for turbo cars.
What year is it?
2004. It is a 2.5.
It is a 2.5. I was going to say, if you have the 2.2 in there, that's just a motor that just runs.
That's true. That's true, actually.
You can do everything to that motor and it will still run.
That wouldn't be fair, though. We're trying to keep it competitive. So we figured we're going to put the 2.5 single overhead.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. And again, we're marking it, we're logging it up to 3,000 miles. We'll see if it blows up.
I think it's going to go the full 3,000.
I do too.
I'm excited to hear the results.
So I want to jump back and just kind of start to go over the build here because it's going to take a while.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. So I haven't talked about the car in a hot minute. So something might skip my mind.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I'm going to refresh your mind because I know everything about this thing now.
Perfect.
Yeah. This is the parts in this car. Like, it just goes and goes and goes. It is quite the build. So if you guys have never seen this thing, this is it. These are some pictures that were posted on here. There's Jonny in his roof hammock.
Oh, that's a great hammock.
And you know what? Until I pulled this up, there's a picture in here that I hadn't seen yet. And I also have another question for you, but
Yeah.
there's a picture. Where did it go? It's the car on a cliff. This one.
Yeah, so that's in Washington. So quick story about this spot. This is the third attempt I have tried, or second attempt. Third attempt. It was the third attempt. So this is Bethel Ridge in Washington State. This was my last trip before I moved to the East Coast. So I went with my buddy Drew and Rob. And yeah, the first time I tried to go, I had to turn around just because I ran out of time. The second time I was 20 minutes from this spot and my radiator blew.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was really bummed by that. So did a trail fits, but couldn't make it up to the top. So just turned around. And then, yeah, this is the third time.
That's amazing. And what a great picture.
So that's the view looking out from that.
That's
view.
crazy. Wow. That's amazing. Something that I saw in these pictures and that I've seen is your driver's seat.
Yes.
Is this carbon fiber?
It weighs 6.7 pounds. Full carbon.
Is this comfortable for long drives?
So
I was going to ask that too. I mean, I'm just blown away.
From Washington State, I've driven in one sitting all the way down to Los Angeles for Subaru there in that seat. And then I think I got there like 4 or 5 a.m., did the show, and drove all the way home.
Oh my god!
That same day.
Cushion, anything? Nothing?
No, it actually is really good. And when we go to Boxerfest, if I'm there, assuming I'm there, you guys can sit in it. It's not terrible.
Yeah, I do want to see that because that out of all the pictures that I saw, the one thing that nobody said anything about was this seat that is clearly like it looks like a rigid carbon fiber seat. And I was like, you're doing how many hours and miles in this thing? Like,
yeah, so I've done in one, I can do 8 to 10 hours comfortably in it. Like it's contoured just perfectly. It's reclined just a little. It's on sliders too. The only problem with it is it doesn't breathe well. So in hot weather, like when I was driving across the country, the temperatures were 100 plus during the day. My back got a bit sweaty.
Yeah. Now, have you ever had a want to change out the steering wheel? I mean, it doesn't look like it's got any buttons or anything on it. So
it's really old, but it's a JDM Prova wheel.
Oh wow.
Okay.
But you can't tell because it's so used that the suede has pretty much turned to leather. I've used that wheel for I think almost 8-9 years now.
The Legacy badge on the front here. I had heard you mention something about that.
Yeah, so the badge is a JDM badge. There was a company back in the day, I think, that did like 6 or 7 of them. They did a run of CNC and water jetted aluminum JDM Legacy badges. So, and then that's on the Flat Engineering grill, which that company went out of business probably 2010, I think.
Oh wow.
And I think there's only 3 of those grills here in the States. So I had a 05 TJ Rubicon 6-speed, and I needed more room.
Yeah.
There's not much room in the TJ. So I bought a wagon. And I lived in California at the time. I was like, oh man, if I could find a Legacy GT, the 05 body style, a wagon, 5-speed, it's all over because you know how hard that is to find since they only made it that 1 year. I got this one sight unseen. I bought it, which I've never done before. First owner, it was like a car. It was sold to a dealership. Older gentleman around 60 years old bought it. He did the rotors but he would only take the car out when the roads were dry and it was sunny out. Besides that, it sat in his garage covered. So I was like, okay, this got to be pretty good. And he had like, all the service records and everything for it from the local dealership. So I was like, this should be a good buy. It's been on Tail of the Dragon 13 times.
Have you been yet?
I have not. I need to go.
Oh, put it on your list.
Yeah.
So if you want to go, every year, the group that I'm in, Tri-State Subaru Gang, they're going to be at Boxerfest.
Yeah.
Every month on the 15th, they do a Subaru drive, and I go. We go on this drive up into PA and New York and stuff, and and it's a long drive. But every year around October, they plan the Tail of the Dragon trip.
I've been invited.
I didn't get to go last year, and then this year I'm having a child, so it kind of made it impossible. So, but yeah, I would love to go. So you basically picked this car up from PA.
Yep.
And you got it back to Washington?
California. And it only had 88,000 miles on it at the time.
What drew you to this car? Like, what was it that you wanted out of it that made you go with this one over something else?
They made in 1 year in 2005 manual turbo wagon. And I was like, I do love the look and the body style, the design, and like all the lines and everything on that like generation of Legacy and Outbats. I love that. I think it's the best.
And the interior too is great.
Yeah, everything about that generation, that year of Legacy and Outback is phenomenal.
These are like the unicorns, these are what people want, and they're impossible to get now. So you gotta be hanging on to this thing for longer, moving forward. I mean, I don't know who you would sell this thing to. You know what I mean?
As of right now, like I have so much time and money into it that it wouldn't be worth it. And there's so many memories too. Let's not forget all the memories and everything.
Yeah,
I agree.
And it's hard for me to think about starting over.
If you were to switch platforms, like what are these parts that you can swap? Like, are you looking to change complete brands? Or are you?
Yeah. So I'm my next car, I will tell you, is I'm looking at a Miata.
I did not see that coming.
I did not see that one coming either. Wow. Actually,
I want a pop-up headlight, rear-wheel drive car with low horsepower, but great handling. My wagon handles like a boat.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, like in a world where I had just unlimited funding, I would do a Ford 550 with a Habitat, or a house on the back of it.
Yeah.
Because the Subaru is great. Don't get me wrong. I love the Subaru. I love everything about it, but I want more space.
Yeah.
And
understandably,
I am completely out of space.
Yeah. So it's funny because I've now learned so much about this because for the last 6 months, I had a friend move in with me and my wife who the whole plan was that he bought a Ford Transit, like a tall van.
Yeah.
And he's been building it to be a camper van because he works at a skydiving place, and his plan is just to be remote forever. So as we've been building this van, I've been going through trying to figure out like what's the best way to do it and the parts to get and everything. And even with as much space as he has, I'm like, there's not enough room in here. So everything I've seen about this Legacy, I'm like, there is no room. This thing is like, so
you make compromises,
Yeah.
So one of my big questions for you is, how much do you think this thing weighs?
I don't know if I should say it.
No.
With me in it, fully loaded with all the liquids. So that's a 14-gallon water tank plus a 4-gallon fuel tank, auxiliary fuel tank, and all the gear and everything I bring, and full tank of gas. I am 5,400 pounds.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
When it comes to building a rear swing arm bumper, no company to date making that upper swing arm out of aluminum. Think about the weight savings that you would have. It would be exponential. I don't know, 200 pounds lighter? I know that doesn't sound like much, but that makes a
Oh
difference.
no, it's a lot. That's a lot of weight to save. I mean, look at it this way. Like, I am switching the seats out to PRP suspension seats. But for now, so the stock seat weighs, I think, 57 or 59 pounds or something like that. The carbon seat weighs 6.7 pounds. So like shedding weight anywhere, like, especially on my build that I will take it.
Yeah.
In particular, like the swing arm. So the swing arm's custom made. It's not your typical swing arm. It was an old Thule bike rack. The reason I mounted the tire the way I did was because the wagon is already long. I didn't want more weight past, the rear axles.
That's the struggle. That's always the struggle with our platform.
The rear bumper now is a tube bumper, custom made. It's got dual 2-inch receivers on it. We use roll cage tubing, and it's
Smart.
4 mounts, I think, up top, and then the whole rear bumper is all bolted in too. The shop, Indigo Metal Fab, in Portland, or Troutdale technically, but we'll just say Portland, Oregon.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, he's done a lot of my fab work, Willie, and he comes from like 4-wheel vehicles, and drift vehicles and street vehicles. So he's used to building, fabbing a lot of cool things. He does artwork as well too.
That's awesome.
Around the city, but his strong points, are working in the automotive side. We're in Washington on the peninsula. Drew and I, same guy. So he has a Toyota, and we went out camping. We were in this really cool spot, and coming up, it was an off-camber incident, where it was like you would come up, turn right, but at the same time, like, there was a whole bunch of rots and off-camber, and I had everything locked because I can lock the rear or the rear lots, right? And I had the center locked as well. And my wheel lifted, came down. You just hear this phenomenal snap. And that was the rear axle going. So that was a nightmare trying to find parts in small little towns.
I think I remember you saying that you had to cut the arm out and basically drive it like 3-wheel drive.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We did. That's what we ended up doing. But at the end of the day, I was able to drive it in 3-wheel drive.
I tried to drive a Subaru one time with a snap axle. It really didn't like it. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, like, I took mine on the beach afterwards. I was like, I'm still going on the beach.
Yeah.
Is there any situation where, like, a friend of yours or somebody that you ran into by accident, like, had a big influence on your build? I was curious about this because it seems like so many people all around the world. And I feel like a lot of these people you probably meet through other people or by accident. And like,
yeah, that's a good question.
I'm curious if there's anybody that you've run into that had like this big fix for the car or something like that,
Well, there's a lot of people, and companies that helped me along the way. Dave, you probably know Ryan Romero, from like Super Performance Days.
Yep.
So Ryan's like my best friend, and he's definitely helped me with a lot of Q&A, from things, breaking things or doing different parts or answering my stupid questions. So, and I was a Suba Performance customer way, way back in the day. A lot of my ideas honestly have come from the 4-wheel world, like, because I had my TJ Rubicon, right? YouTube with the van life builds, just meeting people at Overland Expo and all the people in the Overland crowd.
Yeah.
It's really hard to build because it's so built out now.
Yeah.
But a lot of the inspiration, like, I took from a lot of off-road companies and people in the off-road world.
Are you a big Nasiak guy, or have you used Super Mechanics, or like, I'm sure the forums are go-to.
Yeah. Super Mechanics, I've dabbled in it. Naziok. Well, I mean, if you haven't used Naziok, it's been around for ages. It has.
Yeah.
There's some really good information on Naziok, and it's been there for years. Nowadays, I tend to stay off that and just kind of do my own thing, and kind of hope it works.
Those guys are probably dying for you to be an admin on there because you can answer all the questions that everybody else has. So yeah.
So because everything I've done on the car up to this point now is I've bought something, I've gone out, I've used it, and if it didn't work out or it was just like too cumbersome to use, then I came back and I reassessed.
What is something that is either the most expensive or the most rare thing that you have decided, you know what, the convenience is worth it? I cannot go without this.
I'd say the rooftop tent. It's a one-off from a company in the Pacific Northwest. If you're camping more than I'd say 2, 3, 4 times a year, and you're trying to get from place to place, a soft top is not the way to go.
I couldn't agree more.
Like a clamshell, like I can get in late to a campsite, or campground. I can be ready to go to bed in under 2 minutes with the clamshell, and then I can pack everything up in less than 5. Where the soft top, it would take me up to, depending on the temperatures outside, I'd say 20 to 40 minutes.
So did you have your Boxer just in the Legacy, just rolling with you?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so crazy. I
Yes.
when you were talking about the puppy, I was thinking to myself, I was like, is he going to be like rolling around with a dog? And then now you've had one this whole time. So
Yeah. Well, so Jake passed away back in 21. And I had him he lived to 14, 15 years old.
wow.
Damn.
Yeah,
Good for you.
he was a old man.
Yeah.
Grumpy old man, but he loved the outdoors. So rescued him when he was 3.5, back when I lived in Detroit. But then, we started doing the outdoor thing, and he loved the outdoors. And I think that gave him a second lease on life, and he went everywhere with me.
That's awesome.
Good for you, man.
Something that you've done with the car that I have long dreamed of is the right-hand drive conversion, which I find amazing. I have driven right-hand drive in Ireland, which I had a ton of fun with. My whole family was in the car. I scared all of them. I was in a little 1.6 diesel turbo Tucson, and I was like,
Sweet.
it was like the little hatch. I'm ripping around corners,
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
in Ireland, it's like sketchy with the rock walls, and like the streets are small, and
Yeah.
So then this past summer we went to the Bahamas, and I was with my wife's family, and I was driving right-hand drive, but on the normal side of the road.
Okay.
So my brain was like all mixed up because now I'm driving right-hand drive on the wrong, it's like just like, so I have to ask you, how is it driving right-hand drive in the US where everybody else is driving on the on the other side of the car?
It's really not that bad. The hardest part about driving right-hand drive, honestly, is because you're so used to driving, in the left seat, right?
Yeah.
So when you're in the right side, your brain automatically wants to push you back over and try to recenter you. So that's the hardest part, is remembering that you are on the right side and you need to stay closer to the white line.
I found that like I couldn't tell where the corner of the front clip of the car was, because you're so used to like the distance, like you're gonna hit something if you get this close, but when you flip it, you're kind of like,
So that I'd say that just comes with time.
Yeah, in the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna hit everyone. It's like
It totally screws with your mind. Yeah.
I will say making right-hand turns as well as parallel parking is perfect now.
Yeah, that's true. I can imagine that. Yeah. we actually did on our last podcast, we did rare parts, and we went over this website that is all WRC parts for sale.
I know what website you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
Yes.
One of the things that they sell on there is a right-hand drive conversion that they put in the WRC cars.
Mm-hmm.
So what's interesting is, whereas you have a whole right-hand drive clip, so I'm sure you have the normal, steering column and everything.
Yeah.
This one is more like a conversion. So it comes up, it goes across the dash and then back up and out of the dash.
But why?
Yeah.
Just make it right-hand drive. Like,
Yeah. But I will say, after doing the right-hand drive conversion, I will never do another one again.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I did the firewall too. Yeah, so it was, so it's a legitimate right-hand drive conversion.
Real quick, Johnny, I wanted to show you, I pulled up the picture of the right-hand drive WRC conversion. This is what it looks like.
oh, no.
So it literally just cuts across the dash and it pops out on the other side.
But why?
Wow.
Such an interesting way that they figured this out, but yeah, they did it. They figured out how to just connect everything in a way that I guess somehow it functions.
But what do you do with the pedal bots?
So that's exactly, I have no idea. It's such a weird design. But what's crazy is what we were talking about is it's probably better for impact because you don't have the whole steering column in front of you. You only have half of it.
That's true.
So it's probably better if you hit something. But I mean, it's just crazy. Like they sell all the parts on here for doing all these crazy conversions and stuff. So
that website in particular has a part on there that I've wanted for years. I just don't want to pay the price, surprisingly. But the snorkel, the WRC Safari snorkel, that's on there because I would like to do a snorkel. But that would be the only one I would do on the wagon. If I do a snorkel, I do have a design in my head that I like, that I would have fabricated. But for right now, I'm good. And the other problem is I don't know how that's going to work sitting on the right-hand side.
On a previous episode, we covered one of our friends of the podcast now, Neeraj, who he is building the first ever 3D printed EJ engine that he's going to put in a car and run.
Yes.
And he has the whole design. He's in the prototype stage now. He built his own 3D printer to be able to be just big enough to build the block. Wow. He is confident in the material he's using that it'll be able to run and it'll actually function. It's just that the heat dissipation is going to be tough or whatever. But
yeah.
But if you are ever in need of custom parts, he's a very smart guy. He's already built himself his own custom steering wheel coupler. He's built a couple other things. He actually built his own kit car from the ground up. And so now he's in the process of getting into custom parts and stuff like that. So if you do need something, I'm sure he'd be willing to do it. So
I mean, I always need things.
It's funny because I thought of him. I sent him something the other day. I saw that people were looking for, they had a carbon fiber dash cover that existed
I've
for
seen
some
that.
of the older models. And people were like, please, for the love of God, somebody get the mold for this and flip it so we can put it on normal cars.
Yeah.
Because I think it's right-hand drive only.
Yep.
And I asked him about it, and he's like, this would be the easiest thing ever if you could get one. I know that this right-hand drive conversion, along with the DCCD build and the dual range gearbox, this was all a 4-year process. So if
it was a little longer. So back when I lived in Detroit, do you remember Motorettes?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I was able to ride in a legitimate Motorettes R34 GTR.
That's awesome.
I never expected that. All I wanted to do was see the computer, and guys, hop in, And he showed me everything. And he's like, "You want to go for a ride?" So ever since then, like I wanted a right-hand drive car. I had a buddy that was an importer. He imported, a Legacy GT right-hand drive front clip, and I was like, "Oh, that would be really cool." I've always wanted right-hand drive, and he's like, "Oh, you should buy it from me." And I was like, "Bro, it's like out of my price range. Like, I financially cannot do that." So once a month he would hit me up. And he'd be like, "Can you buy it now?" I was like, "No, man. Like I still can't do it." Finally, it got to around December. He's like, "All right, man. How much would you give me for it? I need to move it. I have new front clips coming in." Ended up getting the front clip, and then over 5 months and 28 days, we did the right-hand drive conversion. There was a lot of headache with that, a lot of issues, but at the end of the day, we got it done. And there's only 4 of them now in the country that have been done of this body style. So mine, and then Saul Subi GL down in Texas has 3 of them. And there was another one on the West Coast, but he unfortunately crashed his, or someone ran into it. So it was totaled out. It's not the easiest conversion. Like a GC, is already pre-stamped, and we wanted to do mine the right way, so we swapped the firewall as well.
So what do you do about the mileage?
The mileage I keep it mental, and I have it written down and everything. Oh, I started building the gearbox back before COVID. A handful of mates down in Australia ran the idea by them. I was like, "Look, this is what I want to do." And they're like, "All right, we'll get you all hooked up." So they've been a huge and tremendous help down there.
So how do you know anybody in Australia?
So in my travels, my world travels, I have gone to Antarctica a handful of times. But we had to stop in Australia. I'm really outgoing and I like meeting people, so I got to meet a lot of the Subaru community down there, a lot of the Legacy crowd, and just became friends with them. So got to see them on a yearly basis. And then one of the last times I was down there, they threw a huge Legacy car meet for me, which was dope.
That's cool.
It was pretty dope. It was mainly all Legacy GTs that showed up, but I still keep in contact with a lot of them. It's funny now because if there's parts in Australia that I need, they'll ship them out to me. And if they have parts here in the States that won't ship to Australia, they ship them to me, and then I ship them to them.
Super community, man.
Yeah. So
it's strong.
Like the gearbox. So the gearbox was built by Osmond's Racing. Because the dual range was never offered here in the States for this particular year, I wanted to go kind of over the top, and I wanted to make sure it wouldn't break. So got an OEM gearbox dual range it was an 06 Outback down there. Sent to the company, they shot pinged, crowd treated, and then the internals, and then chemically washed, the case halves and everything. And then found a DCCD from a Type R/RA GC in Japan. So that was a 5-speed one. So I had that shipped to me. And then from me, I had to ship it down to Australia.
Oh my gosh.
And then turn around and have everything shipped back up to me. Because I also had the gearbox, since it was all torn apart anyways. When they were shot paying crowd treat, I had he was like, "Dude, we should just rebuild it with OE parts." I was like, "All right, let's do it. Since it's open, we might as well." I had the DCCD Pro system all ready to go. Dark matter short shifter for it, and then my BAM shifts bamboo shifter. All that was ready to go, and I was just sitting here waiting. And then Et's clutch, got that all figured out with the clutch that was going to go in there. And yeah, it's a great transmission. And even the guys in Australia were kind of like, "You overbuilt the thing. You will snap." I was like, "Am I going to have any issues, blowing gearboxes?" Because the dual range only came in a Outbacks and Subarus down there.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Am I going to have any issues, having a little more power, off-roading it, am I going to blow things?" They're like, because of what you've done to the internals and because of everything you've done to it, there's no way you will blow. You will probably snap axles before you blow that gearbox in.
Apparently, the 5-speed in the 2005 Outback specifically was one of the most robust transmissions they ever made. And it was only like the 05 and like a couple early months of the 06. Maybe you got lucky. But there was a 05, and it was ironically not the Legacy GT that got it. It was only the Outback that got this one-off transmission.
Well, I think the Outbacks had the 444, I think, final.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right, yeah. I'd have to... anyone in the comments want to correct this, but you're right. I think it is the 444.
Yeah, because the Outbacks, it's great because the Outbacks got the 444 and the Legacy GT's got the 411.
Yes. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. And for some reason, the Outback transmissions, purportedly that, again, that only 05 specific generation was just renowned as being bulletproof to a point, at least of the best 5 speeds they ever made, so to speak, without going into the internals and anything, but just stock transmission wise. For someone who bought an Outback XT or a Legacy GT or a Forester XT in a set generation of time, those were top tier models. They were very, very expensive compared to every other Subaru model.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, the only type of people those were really marketed towards were the people that wanted all the frills, the sunroof and everything and all the bells and whistles, so to speak. But weren't about to go, let me change the blow-off valve. Let me put a bigger turbo on there. Let me change put an aero separator on there. Let me modify this thing right off the factory floor. No, these were people that just wanted, or rather could afford, the top tier model and wanted that. The 05 through 09 Outback XT and Legacy GTs, for example, they came with the EJ255. What else came with the EJ255? The 08 through 14 WRX. Well, so from 05 to 08, they were able to test that motor in a car that people weren't going to modify and weren't going to be beating on. And that way, if somebody came in 2009 after buying a brand new 2008 and said, my WRX engine just blew up, this thing's a piece of junk, they'd turn around and go, well, that's interesting because we have some 2005 Outbacks out there with already 50, 60,000 miles on them without any issues.
Yeah.
Testing tuning, I always say.
Has your Legacy ever been on a dyno?
It has not. It's street tuned.
Hey, they have the dyno at Boxerfest. That's all.
According to the street tune, it's making roughly 280 to the wheels or 330 torque.
Okay.
Nice.
That's pretty good.
So it's a twin scroll turbo. It's the OEM JDM TD04 HLA 19T with an upgraded turbine on it. And it was rebuilt and everything.
WRC's got the $10,000 rocket turbos if you're looking to go big. So
don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah.
I've thought about doing an upgraded turbo just for more power and because of the weight, but like I am pretty happy with how it, drives now and everything. Ed's Clutch has been great. They've been a great partner. They have helped me a ton. They sat down with me for a week straight and went over numbers and ran numbers, back at their office, figuring out which clutch will work perfectly with what I do, my power levels, and on top of that, being a dual range clutch. So shout out to them.
Your roof rack is used for a hammock, for tents. Is there any attachment for your roof rack that you have thought about getting? Another big thing that you can just stick on it or anything like that?
Okay, so I have the hammock, the Adventure Hammock Systems hammock mount up there, right? Mm-hmm. The tent itself, and then one awning and a shower changing, whatever you want to call that room. And then Starlink as well. I just put that up there recently. If I could find like a beefy, probably flat solar panel I would think about putting that up there.
My buddy who was just staying with me, he got the roof rack for the top of the Transit, and it's a custom roof rack that they have solar panels that they drop in and they just click into it. So you can actually build solar panels along the whole roof rack, and you can move them and slide them where you need them to be to move around fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they actually like click in and like you can totally adjustable, which was really cool.
So I carry a 200-watt movable panel with me right now. So that's what I do. I do have solar on board. It's kind of cumbersome.
The other thing I saw, which I did not know this existed, is propane hot water shower. That is so cool to me that exists. And the fact that you can pop up and just have hot water, like that, what a lifesaver.
It takes the green 1 pound tank.
Okay.
Put one hose into your water tank or whatever, and then the other hose comes out, and it has a shower head on it. And yeah, you just kind of go to town with it. Takes power, but it uses up so little power that you don't really have to worry about it and everything. So, but I use it for both showers and if I need to wash dishes, with hot water or whatnot.
Is there anything that you wish you could fit in your car that you just can't? There's just not enough room, but it's like if you had the room, you would add it.
Really, the ice maker was the one thing I wanted to add recently. And the only reason I wanted an ice maker was because I make espresso martinis.
We need to go camping.
Yeah.
I know you got the mobile bar. What is your go-to must-have to make a drink on a trip? Like, what are you bringing in your bar?
I've been told I have one of the best espresso martinis people have ever had. It's on the creamier side. So, and you'll probably have it and be like, man, I didn't even taste the alcohol in that. Because for a while I was making 2 or 3 a night.
Yeah.
Man, these are so good. They go down so strong, so easily and everything.
Do you think that you could live remote in this car? And what is the longest camping stay that you've ever had?
So I can do 1 week off grid just by myself. If I have 2 people, it's a little more difficult, but I'm limited on my fridge side, my fridge space. So right now I'm carrying a 37-liter Dometic fridge, about to be replaced. Not sure what company, probably Iceco or another Dometic is what I'm looking at. I'd say about 1 week off is what I can do off grid. The water is the other issue because I only have 14 gallons of fresh water, and I'll carry 5 gallons drinking water, but the water limitation and the fridge limitation.
Your last JDM engine that you sourced was from New Jersey. Do you know where?
It was a JDM importer.
Really? Do you know? I know some JDM importers in New Jersey. I'm friends with a couple of them. So
I got it from Han at JDM Engine Depot. Han was a huge help. And he gave me when I say a solid motor, he gave me a very solid replacement motor. And he was able to ship it to me too.
Yeah, I have their magnets all over at my work because we've used them a couple times. My boss actually has an 05 RAV4 that's manual that he threw a JDM engine in from them. And that thing runs mint.
If I have any issues like that, I would be going straight back to him for another engine.
Colorado,
yep.
California,
yep.
Washington, Michigan.
New York.
I know New York. I know you talked to on the other podcast, a couple different other places you've been. What is the state you've never been to that you're most excited to go to next, and why?
Eventually, I want to do the Northeast Backcountry Discovery Route. It goes through 7 of the states there. Maybe this fall or next fall.
And what can you tell us about these bad boys?
Yeah, so these are TE37s, Volk. Ordered them about 6 months ago. So they're the TE37 V Spec SR wheels. there's 4 of them done right now. The 5th one, so Volt or Rays only does wheels. They make 4 wheels at a time. So I had to wait for the 5th one, and the 5th one didn't make the container in time. But these were shipped from JDM Land to California, and then once they arrived, I had them sent to OMF Performance in California, where they built a true custom beadlock for them.
Wow.
And then Nitto, they just released their Terra Grappler G3s in Subaru sizing. So I've been on Nomad grapplers for the past couple seasons and years, but I wanted a more aggressive all-terrain tire. So, and I've always loved the Terra grapplers. Like, love the Terra grapplers. And when they were like, we're releasing them for Subarus, I was like, oh, no way. So got a set of those and had them sent off and to OMF as well. And tires are 225 60 17s. The fender liner on the front rubs a here and there, but nothing major.
When I see wheels this beautiful, I would never want to drive on them ever. I would never want to bolt them. I just
it's kind of stupid of how much I spent on that whole setup right there. But
yeah,
I am so excited to get them. And I told like before, I said I buy things or build things to use it, and I'm going to use those. Because the whole reason beadlots came about for me is because of my weight. I am worried about de-beading when I air down. So now with the beadlots, like, I'll be able to air down to 8 to 10 psi and not have to worry about de-beading because of the weight.
Okay. I was wondering what you were looking to go down to, like, pressure wise.
I want to be able to drop down to 8 to 10 psi.
This is going to be such a cool setup, and now I really hope you're going to be at Boxerfest with these. I want to see these.
Yeah, I don't. So the company OMF, they have done multiple Volt TE37s for customers, but nothing this small or on a Subaru. Usually it's on the the bigger 4Runners and Tacomas and everything.
Yeah.
So he kind of laughed at first. He's like, "You want to put beadlots on a Subaru?" I was like, "Yes, sir." Yeah, well, and then I sent him like the whole build, and everything I've done. He's like, "I see why you're doing these now."
Yeah, I have some of the pictures here that you sent of the ride and everything just built out.
Those are probably the most updated pictures right now.
That's awesome. There's the bar cart.
Yeah.
You even got the softy
I'd
lead.
love to do that. I'd love to do that. Unfortunately, like I said, rooftop tenting is out for me. So
yeah,
it's the back is for me and the dog, and the roof is where I put all my stuff. So
and
the bar has to be on the roof.
Well, I used to sleep in the car first before I put the slide out kitchen in. But I wanted a system that, when I'm all set up, say like this, and the tent's popped and everything, if I need to just move a little bit here and there, I don't have to patch everything up. Or if I want to go to bed, I don't have to pack everything up.
Of course.
So I wanted everything to be on slides or not have to put down, feet and everything for it.
Yeah.
So like the 180 awning, that's fully self-standing.
Yeah.
Self-supporting. The kitchen is all on slides.
Yep. So you could, like you said, you could drive forward 5 feet if you were like, I got to move 5 feet forward to level out or whatever.
Exactly.
No problem.
Yep.
See, so you got a drone too, right? To be able to take pictures.
Yes.
No, it's just a really big selfie stick.
It's I have a couple. One, my newest one, I crashed a while back. So this one was shot on an older Mavic Air 2. Yeah, so that shot. Yep, that was when it was in the New York Auto Show this past year.
I actually like this little rock stand for a wheel. That's cool.
Yeah, my little rock display.
Yeah. It's just
And then if you go back to that other one,
let me go back. This one?
yep. So one time I bought a Jackrabbit OG right there.
I was gonna say it looks like an e-bike.
Yeah, so it's a little just e-bike Jackrabbit, who has also been a tremendous help. Building that. Just I can't leave things stock. But I bought the Jackrabbit to use it to go explore. Once the wagon is all set up per se.
Yeah.
So I'll set the wagon up, leave it there, and then go take the Jackrabbit and bike around and see what's in the area.
And where on earth do you put that in the car?
It fits in the back seat.
Really?
Those things are actually really small. Those are great.
It weighs 32 pounds, so it's not that heavy. I don't have a bike rack for it technically. So yeah, it breaks down really easy. You fold it up. I made it full suspension too now, so front and rear brakes. The computer's been upgraded, so it goes much faster. But I also carry a 2,000 watt inverter inside the car that's hooked up, and then I have 2 dual AGM batteries. So I have solar. I have dual AGM batteries, Group 34s, and then I also have short tie connection. So if I stay at a campground, like I can plug in and use that power. Power wise, like I am good now. And then just for backup, I'll carry the 2 external batteries.
That's a quick picture.
Yeah, that was waiting for Roland at the auto show. I keep all the recovery gear up there and everything, all the Spartan rope stuff and all that recovery gear. This was just showing the dual range, the high load selector, where I put the DCC or DCCD controller, the switch and the turn wheel, and then the BAM shifts. So that BAM shift knob is 24 karat gold and bamboo. This is probably the new concept coming. I was hoping by mid-September, but I don't know financially if I'm going to be able to do it, but that's going to be the look. Color-wise, I don't know what color I'm going to do yet. But the honeycomb, oh yeah, those were all the print it's been in. So the Tread magazine was I didn't know the Tread magazine article was going to be a centerfold, full-on 6-page article.
That's awesome.
He just, the editor sent it to me. He's like, "Congratulations." I was like, "What? Wait, what?" And then the Allied was in the Raceline pamphlet. The car is in those. The Allied is like a wheel performance magazine that you would commonly see at like a discount tire, or a tire shop.
Yeah.
The performance one, that was when I was just getting the Overland build started. That was a Subaru magazine from way back in the day. They did like a 2 or 3 page article on it. The Subaru, it made it in a Japanese Subaru magazine. And then, the Nitto, it made it in Nitto's like into the yearbook.
So our plan for Boxerfest is Dave and I are going to do a live podcast kind of thing at our booth. So we would love to have you come sit down and talk with us more. And,
do you need a booth vehicle?
So funny you say that. Last year, I was in between Subarus, and I was the only person that showed up with a 4Runner when everybody else had their Subarus. So all of these booths had these crazy cars parked out front, and I parked my 4Runner behind the booth. And so the guy next to me was like, "Do you have a car coming?" And I was like, "No." So he's like, "Hey, my buddy has a crazy STI. We'll come park it in front of your booth." So I was like, "Okay." They bring it over. Things got custom gold-plated wheels, and like it's like slammed to the ground on bags and like all this stuff.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, everybody's like flocking over and they're asking me questions about these custom gold rims, and I'm like, "I don't know anything." I'll make you a deal. You park in front of our booth, and I will give you one of each. I have the Subaru Mechanics t-shirts and I have the Wave Podcast t-shirts.
You got yourself a deal.
I'll hook you up with both.
I'll simply Subaru's t-shirt and all the stickers you can handle. Let's go.
Yeah.
And you've read about my build from front to back, top to bottom.
And I will tell them that I've been working on it for 15 years. And
you know the entire story of the build now.
yeah, I'll be like, listen, you have no idea what I've been through. You know?
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
And a lot of stupid money.
Again, Johnny, this will never end. Again, man, really excited to have you on. Really excited to get to talk with you. I really hope we get to do this again, and we will hopefully see you at Boxerfest. So
yes,
hopefully, being that we are very close to each other, I will see you soon.
Yes.
Cool. Thanks again, and
we'll
catch you guys on the next one.
All right, we'll see you later.